Damn, I don't know what to talk about today.
Um, really?
What do you mean?
You got you got nothing?
Yeah, I mean, I got
Nothing in the world going on?
nothing
Nothing just
important
happened
happened
last night?
today. No,
Even
nothing
I know
important.
about it.
What the fuck? I'm back. See ya.
I just
Even I watched like 7 minutes total over the course of like 6 hours of live news network on Amazon Prime.
no, most of the night last night I had AP open and I was watching stuff. So, um,
Yeah, it wasn't till like 8:30, 9 p.m. that I was like, "Oh shit, there's an election going on right now." And then I was like, "Oh, let me check out what the news are saying." I went to Amazon Prime, live TV, looked at like Fox, CNN, and ABC, and it was like 10% of the votes counted, 15% total, and it was like 99 to 25. And I was like, "Oh shit, okay." And then checked it again like 2 hours later. Woke up at 3, checked it again, and then at like 3:30, it was like Trump's at 277 and Kamala's at 240 or something. I was like, "Oh, okay, so there's the answer."
yep, yep, and I have my morning routine. I'll sip my coffee and I'll scroll through Twitter. Um, and I'm on esports Twitter, which usually is not very political, but it was just holy shit overwhelming, and I'm gonna have to stay off social media because it's just super doomer. Like people just saying the craziest shit about they're fucked, their people are fucked, they're talking each other out of killing themselves. Like it's just the craziest fucking shit. And I was I said this to Lauren 2 nights ago, and I said this to some other buddies yesterday, but the reality is it doesn't matter who fucking wins. Nothing's fucking changing. You
Yeah,
still
I mean,
gotta
I,
wake up, go to school, go to work, pay your bills. Like the bills keep coming regardless of who's president. So
right.
you,
It's gonna be a struggle no matter what.
right. We're
Like, yeah,
past
you can lower taxes, you can fix the economy and everything, but it's not gonna be
yeah,
like better.
we're
It's gonna
past
be
the point where
shit.
like the president's gonna make significant strides and changes in 4 years and improve things drastically for everybody. We're past that point. It's the government's too multifaceted and
Too many moving parts to
yeah,
be so simple, or to like believe that
yeah.
all the problems will be fixed.
And if something crazy happens and I have to eat my words, I'll eat my words. But yeah,
I mean, oh darn. If everything's fixed and everything's better, I'll be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong about that.
well, I mean either way, like right, like half of the nation says things are gonna get worse, right? And if that's the case too, I'll eat my words. But
Yeah.
um, I don't think tomorrow or even in the next 3.5 years that things will change drastically. So
I don't
in
think
either
drastically.
direction.
Yeah.
But I try not to get political on
It's
Twitter,
also
especially.
yeah. Oh, that's dangerous. But you also take into account that the policies that do change in a presidency, usually you don't see effects until years after.
Right, and I think that's the
Also
thing that a
true.
lot of people
So,
don't realize. Like, the
right.
reason.
They're not gonna pass a policy to fix the inflation, and then the next day inflation goes drops 5%. Like it takes 5 years to drop 2% in
Right,
case like it's always it's variable, but it's not immediate. Nothing is.
yeah, shit takes time.
I was gonna say when you were talking about esports Twitter and not getting political, is there any like debate simulator, or like campaign
Yeah,
simulator?
it's just called Twitter. No, no, not. I mean, not that I'm aware of, but that would be interesting.
Interesting, right?
There's
I thought about that, trying not to laugh to myself.
there's content creators that really like a lot of their shit is around debating people and debating policy and shit like um Destiny and Hassan and Ethan Klein. Um, they're the bigger ones that pop into my head. But a lot of them, I mean, all three of those guys kind of go through phases of just being complete fucking dipshits and just being assholes and not actually knowing how to have a proper debate. So
Yeah,
I'll
right.
say
A lot of that on the internet.
there's no like debating game that I'm aware of, but there are a lot of debating creators that think their political views is white straight men matter because there's not enough loud white straight men.
Speed. I have no response. Speed.
But who was it? Damn, there was another content creator. Oh, Asmund Gold. Um,
Never heard of them.
so it all these political content creators take like the same path, right? They get traction and views playing video games because that's content creation, right? They're gamers, and they start these projects around gaming and blah blah blah, and then they start to really let their political beliefs, come out, and they lean into them. And what's kind of happened over the last 5 years, especially, is those individuals who got big playing games, now they just sit there for 6 hours and watch videos, watch other content creators' videos, and they just became like, I call them like reactionary content
Yeah,
creators. They don't actually make any fucking content. They just commentate over other
their
people's
reaction.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Which I won't lie. I watch a lot of them. The Broken Neck. There's not much I can do, so I'm on YouTube chronically, and
yeah,
I admit I watch a lot of reaction videos
there's not
about.
really. I don't really think there's anything like inherently wrong with it. I think it's when they start to get kind of overly political with that reactionary content that it can get kind of dangerous because they always end up saying dicey, terrible shit about
I was
something they
Yeah,
shouldn't have said. So
but it also depends on the channel too, like
for sure,
the creator.
yeah,
Because if that's what their channel's about, then by all means, fucking destroy one side or the other because that's what your channel is. But if you're someone with the premise you started with, started out in gaming, just chatting with my chat, streaming, whatever.
hmm
Now I'm watching reaction videos because my chat told me to watch this video. They want to see what I think,
yeah,
and then it turns into just slamming one side or whatever. Then that's like, well, that's not what you're about because your audience isn't 100% behind that. You still have a divided audience.
Well, what ends up happening is
If you start your channel with doing that as saying, I stand for this, blah, 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 look how stupid this is, then you get the audience that follows what you're saying, and your whole audience is behind you. So I don't know.
yeah. Well, so what ends up happening is like there's I use the word churn a lot, so I'll use it for this too. But there's like a slow churn of your audience when you start to slowly move
Yeah,
into that political stuff. The people that
that's a,
don't like it start to filter out, and the people that do like it filter in. So,
yep.
um, and that's what a lot of these guys did, right? They slowly converted their audience into hyper political little online monsters, and it just gets dangerous.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing is just how hyper political everything's gotten has just become dangerous for everybody.
Yeah, it's not good when everyone thinks everything has a political angle. Because then every conversation is a divide and a debate, and there's no need for it. And I feel like now there's no compromises. It's either I'm right and you're wrong. Like there's no, oh,
Yeah,
that makes sense. Look at this.
no one wants to hear each other out, you know what I mean? I mean, we
Right.
had this conversation about in college, we would have those little, dorm room debates on random shit, and it was always like in good faith. No one ever really got, well, one person used to get mad, but I won't name drop. Um, but yeah, it was fair. It would, but then again, no one had any like crazy fucking beliefs, right? We were all just random kids in a dorm room with a
Yeah.
30 rack of shitty ass fucking college beer talking about stupid shit. So, but you're right. I think people kind of lost the ability to have constructive conversations with other human beings.
Yeah.
That's not just a politics thing, though. That's I see that in esports.
I feel it's everything.
Yeah.
A lot of yeah. It can happen with everything, and it's in a lot of topics or industry. I don't know what you call it, but
Yeah, I just think people have lost the ability to hear each other out. But also, people don't look into things anymore. They kind of, there's a lot of headline warriors. They just
yes.
see the first line and they go, that's gotta be true. And that's as deep as their research
Look.
goes.
Yeah.
There were a couple studies I read the other week that really put a lot of things in perspective for me. So like I had this one confirmed by my therapist, but about 70% of people just kind of exist basically, and they're not really engaging their brains in any higher function than existing.
Isn't
So-
that like a thing? Isn't that like NPCs in the real world? Right?
Basically, yeah,
That's like a thing, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to think a lot of people were just assholes, but the reality is most people are just ignorant and stupid.
Unaware, yeah.
Yeah. And there was another article I read the other day that was essentially like about 54%, I think was the number, 54% of Americans can functionally read at a 5th grade level, which means they're basically illiterate. This is adult Americans.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, which, if you can't sound words out, I don't know how you can function properly. I was talking to Lauren about that actually, because I was on the ballot for New York, or well, my county. There was a whole thing about changing how the voting works for making adjustments to taxes in our county, and it was about like 2/3 versus supermajority, whatever. But there was the question, and then there was the explanation of if you vote yes, if you vote no, what does that mean? And the no vote had a double negative in it, and it took me a second to realize like what that meant. So there's no fucking way that half the people who read that
Understood it.
understood. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not right either.
Yeah, and you'd get when they summarize what that thing you're voting on is too, you're only getting a glimpse of like what it is being altered, right? And
100%.
99% of people aren't going and looking that thing up before they go to the polling station and figuring out what that
Going through the
statute is even means in the first place and what part of it's being modified. So I mean, I'm guilty of it. I looked up the ballot beforehand, but I didn't look into any other human beings on that list other than, the presidential shit. But I did look into the two kind of policy votes. But after I did those two things in the president one, I just fucking filled in the bubbles, tried to spread them out evenly.
One here, one here,
Well,
one here.
I got 4 votes for, I think it was senator or whatever, or Congress or whatever. So I just fucking do. I did one for every party. I was like, yeah, we'll spread the love around. You know, everyone gets one.
Nice.
Ridiculous. What are you gonna do though? Let's see. What do we got? Thanksgiving's coming up, right?
Yeah. 2 weeks. 3 weeks. 3
I
weeks.
think 3 weeks. 2 weeks from this episode coming out.
Yeah.
I have to figure out how the release is gonna go for our little project, but I got the attachment for the mics, so those will be good.
Nice.
I just gotta get the laptop set up, and I got the little clips for our mics, so we'll just fucking right on the shirt, and they work pretty good. This is gonna be my first time using it, but
Hell yeah.
tested them out and they're nice, so should be fun. I'm sure my head will hurt on Sunday, but
Yeah. Hopefully not. I haven't been drinking like I used to,
I haven't
so
either.
it's gonna be fun.
I think the ales and lagers and even the imports I think will be okay. Most of these imports are light except for Guinness, so
Yeah, but I can drink a Guinness any time of the year, boy.
ridiculous. I think the one that's gonna hurt us is the ciders and the others.
I like ciders.
I know, but they sit.
Well, not necessarily ciders, but I like sours and I like the stuff that usually people are like, ugh. I don't know why. I'm a
I
weird
just
mixer.
think we're gonna be mixing a lot of things, and it's going to
Yeah, that's never a good decision.
when we get to others, it's gonna make whatever's already in our stomach hurt.
Yeah, we should probably get like a good solid meal beforehand too.
Yeah, and some snacks while we're
Oh, that's good. Yeah, snacks.
yeah. We'll have to get some chips and pretzels, some doughy stuff. I might just eat fucking bread between rounds, to be honest. Some fucking
Just
dinner
soak
rolls.
it Make some pasta.
Ooh, that would be good. Yeah.
I made a stew last week,
Yeah.
and I have my stew's pretty good. Um, and I decided to try something different this time. So I got the little, I forget what they're called. The pasta that you put in like Italian wedding soup,
Okay.
the little small
The
ones.
little balls.
Yeah,
I just call them little balls. I don't know the Italian word.
yeah.
My
I mean,
grandfather would
I
be
read it
upset.
when I had the box. I threw the box out, but I read it and I was like, oh, that's what they're called. Cool, and didn't remember it. Something Eni, INI, whatever. So I threw those in the stew, like an hour before it was done. I didn't pre-cook it, just threw it in, and it fucking soaked up every bit of broth in that stew.
There you
And when I
go.
make stew, I make it very broth heavy. So I usually have like way more broth than like meat, potatoes, carrots, whatever, celery. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of fucking pasta, I guess. Damn, it took 8 I had 8 quarts of broth in that stew. Not
Sheesh.
a single piece of liquid was in it an hour after I put the pasta in. I was like, wow, okay.
Damn.
I will say, fucking delicious though.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Love me a good stew.
Yeah.
I made hot banana pepper stuffed manicotti.
That sounds
Delicious, dude. Delicious.
Stuffed peppers are good.
Yeah, and so Lauren had never had peppers before she met me. So
Really?
I've been like, or eggs. So like I've been trying to like slowly get her
Incorporate it.
accustomed
Yeah.
to things. My lights are changing colors randomly. But Peppers is one of them, and now she loves Peppers. So that was one of the kind of making her try stuffed peppers at restaurants was one of the first things we kind of did. So she actually requested the stuffed manicotti. So
Nice. Yeah. I don't like stuffed mushrooms, and I think that's because I'm not a big fan of mushrooms.
yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'm not really a mushroom fan. If it's on pizza, I won't waste time picking it off. But
I was just gonna say I won't take it off the dish,
I won't
but
order it.
exactly.
You know, or when we go to Texas Roadhouse, and we'll get the steak medallions. Usually we'll
Yeah.
order peppercorn, but if they accidentally put the mushroom one on, I'll eat it. I won't love it, but I'm not
Yeah.
gonna spend the energy.
To eat around it or send it back.
Yeah, I'll just fucking suck it up.
Yeah, it's not like you're allergic and whatever. Yeah.
Same with tomatoes. I'm
I-
not a big fan of actual tomato, but I'm not gonna. If it's one solid slice, I'll pull it off the burger. But if it's in like stew or chili or whatever, I don't give a shit. I'll eat it.
I like cherry tomatoes. I don't like warm tomatoes.
That makes sense.
So like in a stew or chili, like nah.
Hmm.
But I like cherry tomatoes. I'll eat those fuckers. Just like pop them. They're so good.
Yeah.
And then on a burger, if it comes with it, I'll leave it on. And if it doesn't come with it, I won't ask for it. And I noticed in like the last 2 or 3 years, I started not using ketchup if it has tomato. Because I was like, that's doubling down on tomato. Like I don't need to do that. And ketchup isn't as healthy as a real tomato. So I stopped using ketchup. And then I would get burgers without like the lettuce, tomato, onion, and I would still just eat it without ketchup. And I'm like, it's not bad. So I don't really use ketchup on burgers anymore, which is interesting.
Yeah, I'm more of a mustard guy, anyways.
Oof, nah. I only do spicy brown on hot dogs.
Okay, that's fair.
Otherwise, or
Honey,
deli mustard on
deli mustard.
like sandwiches for sandwiches and shit.
Yeah. So
Like
mustard.
lunch, but well, no, because yellow mustard is fucking disgusting.
Yellow mustard and deli mustard are basically the same thing. One just has a
No.
little more vinegar in it.
Deli mustard has way more spices.
Vinegar.
Okay, it tastes way different. To make one believe that it's way more spices if it's not.
It's false advertising, James. They're lying to you. The mustard conspiracy.
Right now in my fridge, you could probably find 4 different types of mustard. All taste different. Not a single one of them is yellow mustard.
What about honey mustard?
Not really. If it's on the plate with the chicken tenders and a little thing of ketchup, maybe I'll dip like 1 or 2 bites in it, but I'd rather go like a hot sauce or
Yeah.
this is so difficult. I haven't seen it the last like 20 minutes.
Oh, really? I've been looking
Yeah.
right at you, dude.
Yeah, no, I can't see you. I've been having a conversation with myself.
What the fuck? I'm back. See ya.
Na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.